Hello guys, this is JoAnn speaking here, and welcome to Paleo Reviews. I think it's time to do something different because I feel like going over something very old school. Something that came out way before BBC's Walking With Dinosaurs and Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. Today, I'm talking about Prehistoric Beast, a stop-motion short film that was released in 1984 by Phil Tippett, the same guy that would be a dinosaur supervisor for Jurassic Park. And oh boy, that did not go so well. Also, it's Prehistoric Beast, not Planet. The movie centers around a monoclonius who strayed too far from his herd in search for more food to gorge on. While that happens, he was stalked by a T-Rex. This ceratopsian eventually came across a dead Montosaurus, the same one that was being eaten by the same Rex during the intro. Soon the T-Rex strikes, and a struggle ensues. After stabbing the T-Rex with its horn, the monoclonius gets backed into a corner and gets killed off-screen. The film ends with its herd calling out for it, and the T-Rex walking off into the night. I first came across a snippet of Prehistoric Beast many years ago as a little kid when I watched Eyewitness Dinosaur, a videotape that came out in the early 1990s. In case you're not familiar with it, it's based off a book series that talks about natural history, and dinosaurs is one of the topics. Although I would not be able to see the full version of Prehistoric Beast until many years later, when I discovered it on YouTube. If you want to check it out yourself, feel free to do so. Now that I've seen this more properly, I got goosebumps. This short film may be super old, but Prehistoric Beast is enough to leave an impact on people and how much dinosaurs in media have changed over the years. I never really watched any of the very old school dinosaur films before other than snippets of some scenes in documentaries and on YouTube, but watching this short film ultimately convinced me that I should check out some of these movies someday. If you're a dinosaur fan like me, you gotta at least do your research. As far as I know, Prehistoric Beast is one of the earliest depictions of dinosaurs as animals. However, this is not an educational documentary. This is a short film that has a very simple but effective goal of a more natural and realistic approach with dinosaurs. Heck, there's no dialogue, no narration, nothing like that, but honestly, it didn't need words to tell you what's going on. The visuals plus background music did the talking. The first thing I like about Prehistoric Beast is the atmosphere/tone. The intro with the Rex eating the carcass was chilling, but it does help set the tone for what will happen later on in the movie. Afterwards, there's this calm and peaceful feeling while we witness the beautiful morning coming in and the monoclonius eating food and exploring the forest. However, as the movie continues on and shows the T-Rex stalking that monoclonius, the atmosphere tenses up, but with a steady pace. Then as soon as the monoclonius comes across the carcass, there's this very quiet feeling of dread right before the T-Rex launches its attack. A natural predator stalking its prey and getting closer is terrifying, and the movie did a good job on showing that going down, especially when things started off so peaceful at first. Another thing I enjoyed is the camera work. Stop motion is hard work, yet this movie managed to make itself feel more cinematic by moving the camera around, whether it be going in for close-up shots, showing the sceneries, pacing and following the dinosaurs around, or showing the intense battle sequence at the end. Prehistoric Beast is an experimental movie after all, and the ways stop motion was being done were changing back in the day, but this movie still succeeded. Although the only thing I want to point out is that because of how the camera was handled during the battle sequence, I was barely able to see the monoclonius stab the T-Rex in the leg with its horn. This short movie also has some great visuals. Everything about the visuals, including the lighting and the shadows, the settings in the forest, all that jazz, are very amazing to look at. The settings look so real, it's unbelievable. If I had to pick some of my favorite shots, it would be the sun rising scene and the monoclonius being surrounded by flowers. Now, one common critique I've seen with this movie is that these two dinosaurs right here did not coexist quote-unquote 65 million years ago. T-Rex was around, but monoclonius would have been long gone. Keep in mind that this is long before folks start saying 66 million years ago. From what I've gathered, if monoclonius were to encounter a natural predator closely related to T-Rex, it'd be either Albertosaurus, Daspletosaurus, or Gorgosaurus. On top of that, I also heard that monoclonius nowadays is considered to be a dubious genus. To be fair, Prehistoric Beast is really old dinosaur material from the 1980s, and those bloopers shouldn't be taken too seriously, even in an alternate world where it's an old documentary instead of an old movie. Plenty of movies and other entertainment media have dinosaurs from different time periods coexisting together. That's one thing, but if it's an educational documentary that came out today in the modern world, Yeah, that's when we got a more serious time paradox problem. Now, on to my favorite scenes. One favorite scene of mine would be the distant shot of the Monoclonius looking at the Hadrosaur carcass while you could see the T-Rex stalking behind the trees in the background. It's quite disturbing, and I would hate to be in this ceratopsian's position. Another favorite scene of mine would be where the T-Rex lunges at the camera and the scene cuts to the title screen. We never got to see what happened to this poor Monoclonius, but it's pretty clear that he met his demise off screen, especially when the rest of the herd called out to him and got no response. It's like a scary movie, but with dinosaurs. If I saw the full version of this movie as a little kid, I'm pretty sure the T-Rex launching at the camera at the end would have scared the popcorn out of me. Speaking of the T-Rex, can we talk about how calm he was as he was backing the Monoclonius into a corner? This is right after he got jabbed in the leg, and oh boy, I had chills. Also, the death of the Monoclonius was even more messed up when you think about it more because he was literally right next to the T-Rex's previous victim. Overall, Prehistoric Beasts is scary. And in a good way. I'm happy I got to see the full version of this movie after all those years ago, and Phil Tippett did a great job. If there's one thing to learn from it all, if you're a herbivore dinosaur like this guy, straying too far from your herd and getting lost in the woods could be the last mistake you'll ever make. This movie has gorgeous visuals, smooth stop-motion animation, impressive camera work effort, a chilling and disturbing atmosphere, and great depictions of dinosaurs. Prehistoric Beast shall be given a 9.8 out of 10 sickle claws. When I saw the snippet of this short film in that eyewitness documentary, they played the scene going from the T-Rex attacking to where it gets stabbed in the leg. Although, looking back at how they showed that scene, they added very loud screaming dinosaur noises in there. I'm not sure how my ears weren't bleeding from that as a kid. But regardless, as I said before, Prehistoric Beast is on YouTube, and if you want to go check it out yourself, feel free to do so. And if you also want to check out the Eyewitness Dinosaur documentary as well, it's on YouTube right now as of recording this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all later in another video.